virtually, the new normal, I guess. I mean, how I've been in this environment?
It's definitely been difficult from a student perspective, and I know that our DVCs, especially academic and student development and support, have put in tremendous work to try and bridge the gap between, going online and offline from, but it was started a little bit in phasing in with blended learning, but of course it's been a bit of an adjustment now that we have had to go completely online, and we know this event normally is glitz, it's glam, it's a huge deal, but we hope that tonight we can do it some sort of justice under the new normal and the circumstances that we're under. So we really hope that we can try and live up to some level in the standard that these awards are usually at. So sit with us and have fun.
Fantastic. As Tazi mentions, just have a drink, enjoy yourselves. This year celebrates the 60th year of the University of the Western Cape, an amazing achievement. This year we find ourselves honoring 60 individuals over these 60 years. To start us off, we'll have a presentation, just a special word from a Ms. Ex-Nita Stierman, who is the Sports Council chairperson at the university.
But before Ms. Ex-Nita comes in with her address, I'd just like to note that because we're moving into a virtual space and we're going online on Facebook, we're going live on all social media platforms, the hashtag that we're using tonight is 60 for 60. Like Justin says, we are honoring 60 individuals tonight, and it's UWC's 60-year anniversary. So the hashtag is hashtag 60 for 60. Use it when you're engaging with us tonight on all social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, you name it.
I assure you that this is just another hurdle into reaching your dreams. All the best for the exams, and to our 2020 graduates, congratulations. Don't lose hope, stay safe, and God bless. Bye. Greetings, UWC community, UWC sports, our student athletes, our students, and each and every person watching. My name is Ex-Nita Stierman. I'm the chairperson of the UwC Sports Council. I would like to thank each and every student athlete, sports administration in the university for their patience and resilience during this troubling time. I know this year was a tough year for all of us, but I would like to encourage you to not lose hope on all the goals you set for yourself this year, as everything will fall into place eventually, and I assure you that this is just another hurdle into reaching your dreams. All the best for the exams, and to our 2020 graduates, congratulations. Don't lose hope, stay safe, and God bless. Bye.
Thank you so much to Ms. Ex-Nita Stierman for her welcome and opening, and we trust that at home, wherever you are, that you're nice and settled in and welcomed for this evening. Further on in our program, we have our DVC Student Development and Support, Ms. Prof. Pamela Dube, who will be giving us the keynote for tonight. Thank you.
Well-known brand, where many from diverse backgrounds continue to be given opportunities to display their talents and flourish as a result. Because we are celebrating 60 years of existence, the theme requires us to choose 60 outstanding athletes during the course of this period. So I want to assure you that this is not meant to disregard. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2020 UwC Sport Awards. This is a bittersweet moment because we could not participate in any national or international sporting activities during this momentous occasion of UwC's 60th anniversary. The effects of COVID-19 certainly offer us a stark reminder of the road we still need to travel as a country to address our inequalities. However, we also take solace from the reality that we have to embrace what online technology offers, which is critical to our innovation efforts as a university and as a country. Indeed, UwC will be recorded in the annals of history as one of many who have made a seminal contribution in the National Transformation Project promoting non-racial and inclusive sport. Tonight, we will be celebrating many sportswomen and men who for the past 60 years have contributed positively and made UWC a well-known brand, where many from diverse backgrounds continue to be given opportunities to display their talents and flourish as a result. Because we are celebrating 60 years of existence, the theme requires us to choose 60 outstanding athletes during the course of this period. So I want to assure you that this is not meant to... Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2020 UWC Sport.
Thank you very much, Professor Pamela Dube, for your message. Zazi, just to ask you, in terms of the student development and support system at the university, is it something that you really feel is strong in order to assist the students at the university?
My opinion will, of course, be biased, Justin, because my experience at the University of the Western Cape has been like any other. I've been involved in co-curricular activities at the university from my first. I was here when the co-curricular record was introduced, and other steps and strides that have been made by the Student Development Support Unit at the university, and just seeing the growth over the years, the recognition of student achievement in big and small ways. Definitely, I would say, Justin, that even though we might not be exactly where we want to be, there has been significant growth from where we've been in just the years that I've been at UWC.
It's an entire year, and we move on to a message, a special message from the Professor Tyrone Pretorius, who just wants to share his feelings towards the student athletes and the students at the university.
Vice Chancellor, Student Development and Sport, Mr. Mala Gagai, Head of Sports Administration in sports as well as other sectors of the university, guests from outside the university joining us tonight, and then our sportsmen and women that we are honoring tonight. Welcome everyone to the University of Western Cape Sports Awards. Over the past months, we have come to adapt to a very different. Gone are the easy socializings and the freedoms we have always taken for granted. This year's Sports Awards has special significance because not only are we celebrating UWC's 60th anniversary, but we're also celebrating the outstanding sporting achievements of people who have traversed our campus, our communities and sporting fraternity. Individuals this distinct university through the combination of career achievements, societal engagement, and contribution to a range of sporting codes. They have raised the bar high and set standards for years to come. UWC's history is a proud story of transformation, closely associated with the imperatives of building a humane and society to hold its place in a modern world. Despite the impact of apartheid's heritage on our individual and our institutional development, remarkably well to overcome adversity and to build a proud track record of academic excellence, as well as a rich sporting tradition that has characterized the university since its inception. Decades later, we are called on to uphold the same values of equity and integrity to address lingering issues of intolerance and discrimination in recognition of the many personal accomplishments, and instead of UWC's 60th anniversary, of the more than and friends, we acknowledge their exceptional public leadership role through victory. We are able to attract a critical mass of student athletes, administrators, and high experienced coaches to the university in the upgrading of UWC Sporting Stadium and provide additional on the Belhar side of the campus to expand our
Dr. Lwandlo, football.
Nathan Peskin, football.
Eric Harley for swimming.
Gary Dolly, hockey.
William Lecholi for athletics.
Libby Burrell, triathlon.
David Nodowane, football.
The late Jeffrey Stevens, rugby.
Trevor Fredericks for karate.
And finally, Dion Davids, rugby. So those are the winners of the Coaches Award, a very prestigious award that honors the coaches that have played a pivotal role. You potentially might not have been involved in sport at the university, but surely you've seen enough from the student athletes what an important role they play.
Absolutely. We know that the student athletes at this university work very hard. And having not been a student who plays sport as well, I can't imagine the level of dedication that it takes to be able to balance your academic and your sporting commitments, as well as holding the name of the university up high. And we're honoring the coaches, but a lot of the time we see that the students are the ones who get the glory on the field. But behind that are the coaches who are taking the time to honor and to place a special emphasis on tonight.
Fantastic. And then we move over to the Administrators Award. Again, an individual who has played a pivotal role in the success in many ways, but potentially, again, as you mentioned, does not receive the recognition that they rightly deserve. So if you don't mind just leading us forward.
Justin, allow me to set out just the criteria of who receives such a prestigious award tonight. This award, the Administrator Award, is awarded to individuals who have served in an active role at the University of the Western Cape and went on to take up leadership roles within national sporting fraternities, playing a pivotal role in sport and sport development and contributing to a healthy nation. They serve as true ambassadors of the UWC sporting culture and continue to do so into the future. The recipients of these awards tonight are, firstly, Toby Titus.
Danny Jordan.
Professor Tyrone Pretorius.
Songezo Nayo.
Dr. Lyndon Boa.
Ilham Groenewald.
Edwin Wyngaard.
Clive Killian.
The late Landile Kasibe.
Tony Loubser.
Advocate Nick Cook.
Lutando Zibeko.
Former Minister Ngonde Balfour.
Andile Ndevu.
Gary Boshoff.
Theosis Constance.
And finally, Gustav Jacobs.
And as mentioned, the role of administrators often does not get recognized. It's an important part of planning, and as much as, sport is being witnessed on the field, the administration and the back work is, again, an important part of it. And it belongs in sport, and I think that's what's ultimately important. And similarly, you would understand how important administration is in your sphere.
Yes, absolutely. It takes a lot to see, there's a lot of preparation that goes into a final product behind the scenes, and the administrators who received awards today have done this work, and we honor them tonight as the University of the Western Cape. And further honoring, Justin, if you could just do me the honor, do us the honor tonight, to read the further people who will be receiving special recognition tonight for their work in building the sporting culture here at the University of the Western Cape, and not just here at UWC, but in the country and at the world at large.
Absolutely. Awarded to those individuals who may have made meaningful contributions at the UWC sports fraternity and still have a vested interest in the well-being of the sport at the university and, as mentioned, the country at large. And the winners are Professor Marion Kim,
Dr. Llewellyn McMaster,
Patricia Lawrence,
Ngedikaya Makopeni,
Benny Pretorius,
the late Dr. Ingrid Miller,
Professor Judith Cornelissen,
Renee Naylor,
the late Roger Adams,
and lastly, Dr. Fred Robertson.
And we talk of the special recognition. You mentioned Renee Naylor. On Monday marks the anniversary since the Rugby World Cup win of the Springboks in Japan, and what an important role she played as the physiotherapist to those players week in, week out. And again,
Not know that.
well, there you go, an alumni of the university, so somebody that really deserves that special recognition. And I think by now the students would have made their voices known, wanting to find out exactly sort of who the student athletes are. So I think let's move on to that and our final category in terms of acknowledging the outstanding athletes at the university.
Yes, I'm very excited to present, we're very excited to present the awards tonight for the student athletes. But before we go on to list all the wonderful awardees tonight, I'll just briefly read the criteria. This award is awarded to those athletes who have played and represented the University of the Western Cape and went on to be selected to represent South Africa or their respective countries at international events which have been sanctioned by international federations. They serve as true ambassadors of UWC and our sporting culture, and they continue to be at the forefront of promoting sports and development through sports. The first awardee in this category is Bianca
Again, just emphasizing the importance of sport at the university.
I think a notable thing to place emphasis on tonight is to look at the women who are receiving awards among these categories that will reveal later, such as Baba Lwalacha, who's going to come on for rugby, just predominantly, previously male-dominated sporting codes, but receiving a recognition at the University of the Western Cape tonight, as well as I'm seeing on my list here, Thembi Kgatlana, we'll see her on the list, it's really good to see the development as well of women in sport and their recognition at this place tonight. But let's continue with this category.
Quite an extensive list of athletes being recognized this evening, and I think rugby sort of dominating per se. We have other universities within the region, and UWC really has started to show their strength within the sport. And notably, we spoke about Tembi and Babalwa. How coincidental is it that they both are now representing their code, the university, in Spain? For the exactly same club, different codes, but however, for IBAR in Spain, and it really just shows how the strength of the system in terms of sport of the university. And I think as we just sort of move to your left, and again, so many sports that take place at the actual university. Surely, just talk us through that experience at the university on sort of game days and so forth?
Absolutely. As a spectator of the sports that are played, especially rugby, we look forward to the Varsity Cup games, and we know we celebrated when our boys were promoted from the Varsity Shield to the Varsity Cup. The games nights, it's a vibe. It's part of the university experience to come out and to support. And it just shows how integral sport is to your experience as a student, and not just, we don't just come here to study, sit in lecture halls, write exams and leave, but being a part of the UWC community, sport is an integral part of that community.
Well, as you mentioned that, just in terms of the community, we cannot have the UWC Sports Awards without the Director of Sport, Mandla Gagai, share his thoughts and also just a word of thanks for this evening and towards the various winners in the 4 categories.
To the Vice Chancellor, Prof. Pretorius, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Prof. Dube, the Chairperson of Student Sports Council, Ms. Exnita Stearman, UWC students, staff, alumni, and friends, I thank you for tuning in tonight. I would have loved this event to be under one roof, but unfortunately, the circumstances of this time do not allow. I would like to thank you for your unwavering support towards UWC Sport. Without you, we would not be where we are today. In line with celebrating the university's 60 years, we have limited our acknowledgement to only 60 alumni. However, I can assure all of you that every UWC Sport alumnus has played a role in putting UWC where it currently is tonight. As such, we will continue to acknowledge all our alumni in different ways at different events, because we believe that they have all laid the foundations to put us where we are tonight. Our students are able to enjoy sport because of all the sacrifices that were made over the past 60 years. I would like to thank you for all those sacrifices, and I can assure you that sport will be back and UWC will be back stronger than before. Thank you very much. To the Vice Chancellor.
Thank you to the Director of Sport, Mr. Mandla Gagai, for that wonderful message of closure, and thank you tonight. We'd just like to close off by wishing the coaches, administrators, the Special Recognition Award recipients, as well as the student athletes, a big, emphatic congratulations on the UWC Sports Awards tonight. We'd like to thank you from me, Sazi Changana, good evening, and from my co-host.
Sazi, I have to thank you first and foremost just for your enthusiasm and stepping out of the norm to come and join me this evening. And again, just to reiterate the importance of these 4 categories within the fraternity of the University of the Western Cape. And we again want to thank everybody for tuning in, joining us, and really just honoring all these recipients and the winners this evening. Have yourselves a fantastic Friday evening, good weekend, and yes, to hopefully seeing you in 2021 in an actual award ceremony, and we can celebrate 61 years of the University of the Western Cape.